Welcome back to the Travis Brown Coaching YouTube channel. And today we are going to discuss how you can smash your half marathon in under an hour and a half. For those who have done that before or even never run a half marathon before, these are the tips and the tricks that I will suggest you take in order to either get under an hour and a half in your half marathon, or at the very worst, smash your PB into little tiny pieces so you can enjoy your race day.
We're going to go through all the protocols that I follow in the build up to a race and also on race day. So when we come into our final week, we need to make sure that we are starting to taper down, which you've all heard before, and you're starting to look after your body. The biggest thing with running races, half marathons, 10Ks, or anything that's a max effort, you need to make sure that as you get towards the end of your process, you're starting to relax. So if you don't do the work early enough, then you're going to be setting yourself up for failure every time because you're never going to be able to catch up fitness. So we're going to cover nutrition, we're going to cover training, strength and cardio, we're going to cover tapering for the week, we're going to look at our kit list, and we're going to look at how we need to approach a day in terms of the night before, the fueling, the carbing up, and even the tips that I follow on every single race day in order to improve my speed and
First of all, we spoke briefly in our introduction there about tapering. Something that I see so often is people trying to run as hard as they can, as fast as they can, right up to their race day. This is not going to serve you any favors. This is going to cause you tiredness, fatigue, poor recovery, and therefore when you get to race day, all your body's going to want to do is give up. Make sure you're tapering down, reducing your running load. And what we did for our Sunday run is we had people run on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and we did a very slow 5k Monday, a very slow 3k Wednesday, and a 1k on Friday, just to keep the legs ticking. And Saturday is a complete day of rest. Nutrition. So nutrition is one of the biggest things that you're going to need to get right in order to get PBs at races, run an hour and a half at races. Whatever it is that your target is, getting that nutrition right is going to be massive. If you don't do that, you're always going to struggle. Now, one of our clients never used to eat before a race, and it was only when we finally started introducing them to the food that they feel so strong. Now, there's a couple of things with nutrition. People will say they need to carb load for a week. That is strictly not true. The way our body works is the carbs that we put in our system today, the glycogen that we take on from carbohydrates, which is the fuel source that we're looking for, will be utilized within the first 24 to 48 hours. Now, you can load them and you can put loads in, but ultimately, in the way that you feel, that is not going to be beneficial because you're not going to utilize that fuel. Your body will break it down and use it for energy, or break it down and store it as fat. You do not need to be smashing carbs and pizza in prior to a marathon or a race day in order to fuel. So what we did is we held our nutrition firm Monday through Thursday. We did a small load on Friday. So if your baseline carbs, for example, is 100, we took people up to 150, 175 on the Friday, and then on the Saturday, we would take them up to 250, 275, 300. Now, there is argument to say for some people that you want to take on 5 to 8 grams of carbs per kilo of body weight. A lot of people are not used to loading this much, and it can cause stomach issues. So unless you're experienced at carb loading, this is not the way for you to do it. The same applies for morning nutrition. You need to eat the same things that you're used to eating. If you never used gels before, don't use gels. If you have, then use the same ones, and make sure you're taking in the same amounts of food that you're used to before running, because otherwise you risk an upset stomach, and that is also going to have a knock-on effect. Things that we always encourage for the morning is obviously the breakfast cereals that you eat, porridge oats, Cocoa Pops, bananas, and also some sweets just before you get off as well for quick release quick release sugar that will get into the bloodstream as well nice and quickly. One of the best things that you can do as well is making sure you are prepared. You will see it on Instagram. It's usually annoying. People doing kit lays. They will lay all their kit out, make sure they've got all their gel, their trainers, their socks, their calf sleeves if they need them, their vest, their number, their bib, and get it all on the kit. Do this the night before a race and put it into a bag if you're not going to be wearing it in the morning. You do not want to be stressing in the morning, getting prepared, trying to find things. Being prepared is going to be a massive, massive bonus point in terms of feeling ready for the race. You can do all the prep and all the training, but if you're not prepared with your kit and nutrition and your hydration, you're going to struggle distinctly to make sure you're in a good place come that morning. Now, this is something that we did. and I laid out my kit, as I said in the video earlier. We had everything prepped and ready in the rucksack. We got to the race day early. We had our numbers on. We knew where the start line was. And we still nearly made a mistake by thinking that the race started 5 minutes late, and it did, to the point where I literally had to throw my jumper and coat off at Beth and jump into the starting race pack as the gun was fired to start the race. So you must be really careful and making sure that you're super organized, because it is not ideal preparation for a race. So it is a day before the half marathon now, and we've got a few tasks to do. So we're going to eat, we're going to do a kit lay. We've just finished some stretching and some ball rolling and foam rolling. So we're going to eat, we're going to do all our kit, make sure we've got everything. What we're looking to do is take a vest and a jumper that we can share, and like get rid of the jumper, should I say. It goes into a charity box at the end. So we're going to get all that packed up and sorted tonight as well. Obviously, we've got a running vest, we've got shorts, we've got some underwear, which is cool. We're wearing our Hokas, which are carbons, which we'll talk more about as well. And then once we've done that, we're going to have 3 SIS energy gels, and then we're going to go through the food tomorrow as well. But until then, we've got a massive bowl of pasta to come. I'm going to hop in the bath and relax, and then it will be some massage gun before a nice early evening in bed, ready for the big day. During race day, this is the key. The best way to run strong in a race is to make sure you finish strong. I have done it, and I have seen others do it, where they go off the blocks so quickly that they are blowing up halfway through the race. Now, something that I managed to execute really well in this race that we've just done in Milton Keynes is I started the race in a really controlled fashion. And for the first 10K or half of the race, I felt really controlled. I was steady. I was taking my time. I had my energy gel strategy. And what that meant is actually that the second part, the next 10K, was when I was really racing. But it meant that I was only really struggling for 40 to 45 minutes rather than the whole thing. Whereas if you go out the blocks too fast, not only do you suffer by racing out the blocks, but then you've got to survive for the next half of the race or the next full race, however long you're racing for. So if you've got a set target time, let's say it's an hour and a half, we know that the average split that you need for an hour and a half is 4 minutes and 14 seconds per kilometre. It's better to start at the 4:15, 4:20 mark and then pick up your pace so that your average gets to that hour and a half, because that's giving you the power to drive on and race. And if you've got to push harder and push harder, you're able to tell your mind that you've only got a little bit left. It's only 2K left. Whereas if you do it too soon, you're going to blow up, you're going to get cramp, you're going to be underfueled, and you're not going to be able to sustain it. So regardless of your target, work out your average split that you need to maintain that time. Start a little bit slower and get quicker kilometre by kilometre, or even do it in 5 kilometre blocks. My target was to do it in 5 kilometre blocks, get a little bit quicker, a little bit quicker. And if I'm honest, I still didn't manage that, but I still did enough to make sure that I was in the under hour and a half category, which is exactly what I wanted.
Go on, go, 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 woo!
Now, if you found this video has helped you, but you've still got no clue where to start, you need to drop us a message on Instagram at Travis Brown Coaching. We are currently taking on clients that are not only looking to transform their physique, but to achieve things they never thought they were possible. Whether it's high roxes, half marathons, marathons, tough mudders, wolf runs, anything like that. We are taking people from a place where they are unable to perceive the things they can do. We are transforming their physique, and we are putting them in a position in their mind where they can do absolutely anything. So drop us a message at Travis Brown Coaching and let us help you with taking your running, your performance, and your aesthetics to the next level.